I'm going to be recording a lot. Exhausting. See. Went over to the pile of bamboo, picked up one of the cloth wrapped hatchets. In that case, I'll do it. The four of them headed back inside while I kind of remained. How about you guys? I don't think that's necessary. You don't even know what that means. Well, that's true. That's the thing. Ririko's good at baking bread. She's not good at cooking. That's true. Picked up one of the bamboo rods, looked it over. It's not like a log. I probably can't split it in the way I usually would. Plus, it was long, and if I cut it into pieces, it would be annoying to join them back up later. But does bamboo even grow on this mountain? Wow. You own a bamboo forest. Incredible. Finished my examination of the bamboo. I wonder where I might find a thin rod. The harder the better. Oh, that sounds good. Can I borrow one? By the time Ririko returned with the pin in hand, I had gathered a bit of an audience. Hoping not to embarrass myself, I set off on the construction. First, I swung the hatchet to the tip of the bamboo stalk to create a notch. When I pressed the rolling pin against the notch, I'll be bracing the other end of the stalk against the building. Hope this works. I applied a little pressure, and with a sensation more like ripping than splitting, started cutting the bamboo stalk in half. Wow! Nearby cries of astonishment filled me with a small sense of pride. The bamboo was tough, but it was easy to split it if you ripped it along the fibers. The stalk were quickly halved. Next was the matter of the joints. If you left them in, they'll stop the flow of the water. They had left me an iron hammer for gouging them out, but I thought there might be a better way. Do you have a rubber mallet? It's like a hammer. The one where here is too hard and it'll probably break the stalk. See, well then, I'll just have to wrap the hammer in cloth and try it out. I give it a try and the joints popped out neatly. Wow! There was another round of impressed cries. I was feeling very happy with myself. Now to create the bamboo tripods, I'll need you to help me with this one, Ayaka. In the end, after an hour's work, the stage was all set for the Nagashi Showman. I wonder where the noodles are. What's the matter? Ririko shut off the phone with an uncomfortable expression.
茹でるだけではなく、おつゆから作っているそうなんです。
So broth?
それで、まだあと2時間はかかるということなのですが。
Perfect timing, my stomach growled.
もうできたの？
Oh, rise.
早すぎるじゃない。一体どうして。そうよ。お昼のつもりが夕飯になるなんていうことはザラで、それでおつゆから調整していたのに。
I wish they had told me that beforehand.
いつもはそんなに時間かかってるの？ええ、それこそ暗くなるくらいまで。あらそう。でもマサヤくんがちゃっと作ってくれたわよ。どうやって？いっつもみんな大変な思いをして竹だってすごい無駄にしてしまうのに。
Itsuki looked up at the mountain of bamboo.
無駄にしたのなんてないみたいね。しかも見たこともないくらいの見事な台で。
I explained my method. A pain looked into her eyes.
なるほどね。そんなやり方がちゃんと考えれば分かりそうなものなのに、思いつかなかった自分が悔しいわね。じゃあおつゆどうしよう。もうみんなお腹空いてるよね。
I said it would be lunch after all. And I'm pretty hungry.
じゃあ市販のやつでいいかしら。味見の時点でこっちの方が上って分かったし。何言ってるのよリセさん。あなたの味覚はおかしいじゃなくて。何よそれは。どう考えても味も香りもこちらの方が上だったでしょ。そんなことないわね。こちらの勝ちでした。あなたの方こそ味覚と嗅覚が気の毒なんじゃない？
I don't think anyone cares.
まあどっちでもいいじゃない。そうですよ。千穂さん、あなたどっちの味方なの？こうなったらもう後には引けないわよ、美月さん。望むところよ。ギャラリーはたくさんいるわ。みんなに判定してもらいましょう。ええ、天に唾するということがどういうことか思い知らせて差し上げるわ。天って誰がよ。
The two continue squabbling as they headed for the building.
早く来なさいよ。
Be very afraid. The two exchanged a glance up and shrugged.
しょうがないな。じゃあ行こっか。はい。で、結局待たされるわけなのね。究極と至高の戦い、楽しみです。
Okay, my eyes are just flooding everywhere.
ルリコって案外大人物だわ。まあ、昔のような二人に戻ってくれてよかったと思いますよ。私、まあね。
And so, the stage has been set for some time when at last the leading ladies appeared.
遅い。
Boo, boo.
まあ、ブーイング。失礼しちゃうわ。ねえ。
At times like this, they were in perfect sync. Well, they're just hungry.
待たせただけのことはあってよ。
Took the lid off a large pot and unleashed the strong smell of beaneto broth. This will be the 7th part of this recording session. Wow, that looks delicious.
お出汁はカツオだけじゃなくてサバやイワシも使ってあるのよ。奥の深い複雑な味だわ。出汁だけじゃないわよ。薬味もどっさり。定番の生姜やみょうが、ネギやしそはもちろん。梅肉、わさび、いりごま、甘く煮つけたしいたけ。
Why
そ
wasabi?
れからハムや錦糸卵やきゅうり。
I can understand the diced sweet egg, but why wasabi? Wow.
説明はいいからもう食べさせてよ。お腹空いちゃったじゃない。みんな
Alright, clap your hands.
これは白百合貝と
Hurry's
紅
like,
バラ
I
貝の
can,
対
I
決なん
cannot
ですからね。
hurry.
よーく味わって
I
食べて
don't
く
know
だ
how
さ
to
いな。
pronounce her name.
紅バラ貝と白百合貝間違えないようにしてちょうだいよ。器もちゃんと分けましたからね。間違えた方がかえって助かるんじゃなくて。何言ってるのよ。後で吠え面かかないでよ。
Water began running from the hose.
ちゃんと流れてるじゃない。
Chiho swept some noodles from the stream. People positioned on either side of the bamboo started reaching in with their chopsticks. So good. I've never eaten such delicious salmon before.
本当だわ。流しそうめんの楽しさも加わってこれ
Really?
ちょっとみんなちゃんと味わって食べてったら。
We heard her, but no one you listen. We were starving. It's what you get for having poor frickin' timing. The noodles, which had once been piled on top of countless baskets, were now completely gone.
じゃあみんな採血に入るわよ。
Rise and Hisky both walked to the head of the crowd.
では白百合貝の方が美味しかったという人挙手をお願いします。
Silence.
嘘。そんな
Just wait for a little bit, then you'll know why.
決まってしまったわね。まあ私としてもフルマークはちょっと意外なもう勝敗は決したけれどちゃんと尋ねるわ。紅バラ貝という人
More
挙
silence.
手してください。
Neither vote got any response. The two exchanged a glance. I think people couldn't tell the difference. I nominated myself to speak up. I think we were just so hungry they both seemed really good. So it's hard to choose between them.
だから味わって食べてと言ったのに。まったく。まあまあ美味しく食べられたのですからそれが一番ではないですか。まあね。
In the end, the Nagira Stroma party ended without a winner or loser being decided. Summer vacation was nearing its end, and the majority of students who had gone home were coming back.
夏休みの最終土曜日に最後のそして最大のイベントがあるんです。それが星酔いの集いです。
The Evening Star Gathering. Wow, what do we do? Just the description, final and greatest, was enough to procure my
グラウ
interest.
ンドにみんなで寝っ転がって星を眺めます。
Right,
そ
and
れだけです。だけと言ってはシスター三島に失礼ですね。シスターの星座の解説がありますので。
what is that? It
はい。
isn't that kind of plain? Well, I guess it's like a natural planetarium, though that's not great either. Well, maybe it's more fun than I'm imagining.
星酔いの集いはね、まさやくん、誰と見るかが一番のポイントなの。
Who you spend it with?
地面に寝るにあたって毛布を用意するのだけど、それは2人分のスペースがあるわ。その意味はわかるわよね。
Wow, that's not sure how to put this.
真っ暗な中、星を見上げながらおしゃべりしていると、2人の仲もぐっと縮まります。普段結構間隔も空いているから大きな声で話さなければ聞こえないしね。
How did you what? Who did you lie with last year, Riverville?
千穂さんと。こらこら、
顔を赤くするようなことなんて何もなかったでしょ。
ただあれをきっかけにもっと仲良しになれた気がします。
まあね。
What about you, Rise?
その時にはもう美月さんとの仲がギクシャクしていたからお誘いはあったけど結局断っちゃったわ。
I see. What about you, Ayaka?
私はぐれ者だからね、誰も相手にしてくれないのよ。でも今年は期待大だってまさやくんがいるものね。
Oh, not again! I'm surprised that the school rules permit that kind of thing.
それはそうよ。だっておしゃべりするだけで別にエッチなことするわけじゃないんだし。
I guess you're right about that.
でもまさやくんが相手ならしちゃってもいいかな。
Oh.
なんてね。ともあれ学校側だって決して禁じていないわよ。
As she spoke, Ayaka pulled out a large piece of paper.
これ座席表なの。みんな持ってるわよ。
Seating chart. It was a diagram of the school grounds with numbers marking each seat.
何かと規律の好きな番宣ヌだもの。こんなものを用意するのもある種当然ではあるけれど、これは他の使い方もできるわよね。目当ての人はどこにいるのかしらって。まさやくん、私は3年 D 組の6番よ。
She scratched. Ayaka circled the number on the map.
待ってるわよ。
私はここ。
Scratch.
ごきげんよう。千穂さん、普段はごきげんようという挨拶使いませんのに。同じクラスだから分かっているでしょうけれど、番号までは覚えていないかもしれないし、念のため。
They sit literally right next to each other.
私、星座には結構詳しいの。よかったら解説して差し上げるわ。それじゃ星座の解説ならシスターがしてくれますよ。余計なこと言わないの。あらあら。
Uriko looked closely at the paper.
私、千穂さんとは出席番号が近いんです。神ヤギの「か」と詐欺沢の「さ」ですし。
What?
お間違いないよ。私の方は花丸にしておきますね。
Scratch.
では、ごきげんよ
I believe the second game was called Princess Evangile W Happiness? I don't know what's with the W Happiness part. It also looks like it's more longer and more extended than this game here. Wow, she really drew a flower. Like Ayaka, using the chart would make it easier to find the person you want to spend the evening with. The last event of summer vacation, huh? Seems like a good opportunity. According to the chart, everyone was by themselves at least at the start. We almost always did things as a group. There wasn't anything wrong with that, of course. We had a lot of fun together. But sometimes I thought it would be nice to be alone with someone. With constellations? I looked up at the stars around the equator before, but I knew almost nothing about the constellations. I knew we'd be getting an explanation, but I thought it might be good to stay up anyway, so I headed for the computer. Oh, it's getting pretty late. I turned off the lights and left the rec room. There's a lot of mythology about the constellations. I didn't even have the basics before now. As I leave the rec room, I pass by Risco.
宿題ばっかりも疲れる
I had to constantly cramp my arm. She wasn't sure how it compared to other schools, but Vesna certainly gave out a lot of homework. And she had come to the rec room for a breather. At the entrance, she passed by Messiah and wondered if he had come for the same reason.
これ
Lying on the table was a seating chart for the Evening Star Gathering. He must have forgotten it. Risco picked it up, looked back down the hall.
マサヤさん
I thought I heard a voice was calling me. I walked back to turn the corner to look down the hall, but I didn't see anyone. Maybe it was something else? It sounded like Messiah, but maybe I misheard. I turned around again and went back to my room. Risco clamped a hand over her mouth, and though there was no need, even stopped her breathing. She counted to 10, then scanned the hallway with a sniper's precision. Messiah wasn't there. Risco let out a sigh. Her chest hurt as if she had just run a marathon. She sat down, looked over the paper again. 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 4 circles drawn on the paper. Risco could easily guess what it meant.
それにしてもこれ本当にマサヤ様の忘れ物
It was very unlikely it could belong to someone else, but
3年 D 組のロックバーこれって確か姉さんだったような
she didn't know her sister's number by heart, but she was certain she was in Class D. Though somewhat contrary to her image, the other students had always seen Aika as somewhat unapproachable. She wondered if her sister had finally found a student she felt comfortable with. Anyway,
4人ってそんな節操のない人がそうそういるとも思えないし
the more she thought about it, the more it seemed inescapable that it belonged to Messiah. And when she looked at the way that the circles were drawn, she realized that the girls themselves must have added them. She found herself scanning in front and back of no particular reason. She wondered why she had stopped herself from calling him back, even to the point of holding her breath.
私の番号は1年 A 組の5番
She traced her finger along the paper until it rested on the number 5 under Class 1A. Without even realizing it, she picked up a pen with her right hand. Scratch, scratch. The chair let out a clatter as she rose up from it. The paper dropped down on onto the table, and she quickly clamped a hand down on top of it. She fearfully looked at the paper. She couldn't believe it. There was a circle around Risco's seat. Now, she realized she still had the pen in her hand. She dropped it hesitantly, as though it had transformed into some horrible bug. The pen rolled along the table. Risco stared blankly down at it, and at the paper, which now had 5 circles on it.
私がやったんだわ無意識のうちにそんなお姉様あれ聞こえなかったのかな
She wasn't so far away that she shouldn't have heard her, but Risco, she just ran off without saying anything.
っていうか今のお姉様なんか様子が変だったような
How do you unconsciously draw something? Like, I know that's for some artists, but just to draw a circle unconsciously, like, what? How does that work? Also, I need to check something. I need to check my buddy's channel really quick. Here we are. Has he uploaded anything? Yes, he has. She frowned. The way she had run out of the room had also been strange. Perhaps she'd gotten in a fight with somebody, can only approach the room, her body tense.
あれ誰もいない
Who could Risco possibly be in a fight with? Think that for a second. Does she look like the type of person to fight someone? Yeah. She checked the corners as well just to be safe, but the rec room was definitely deserted.
変だなあこれ
There was a pen rolling along the... How is that pen still rolling? Next to it was an evening star gathering seating chart.
丸が5つも節操のない人ですねって
Her eyes drawn to a certain spot, Class 1A, number 5. That was Risco's
で
number.
はお姉様これを見てでもだからって
She's the one that put it there! It was obvious the paper belonged to Messiah. There was no one among the fillies who would be so unjust. Briscoe must have come to the same conclusion and been shocked when she saw her own circle. I did not draw that. The girls put it themselves. After returning to my room, I realized I left something behind, so I headed back to the rec room. Kanomi? What's wrong? Kanomi's face was unusually blank for some reason. It had me something up. He came all the way up to our dorm.
息抜きにお姉様に会いに来たんです。そうしたら部屋にいないので、こちらかと思ったのですが。
Oh, I passed by her a little earlier. No response. Something was different. Oh, that's...
この紙、やっぱりマサヤ様の。
Yeah. She handed it over to me slightly. I took it hesitantly. Why was she so angry at me? Well, bye. And why the heck's my arm pulsing? Well, maybe she's just in a bad mood or something. Glanced down at the paper. Something seemed different about it.
私だって少しは成長するのです。お姉様にかつて言われました。私は思い込みが激しすぎると。それで人を非難して間違いだったら世話がない。それはもうその通りなのです。
That's why this time Kanomi had restrained herself. She had expended tremendous effort to stay focused and keep from speaking her
ま
mind.
だわからない。当日、マサヤ様がどう出るか。
She hasn't realized that, oh, there's a flower drawn on there? Why would Messiah draw a flower? Wait, the girls must have drawn on this. Wait, what?
それにしても、もうタンタドルセルパンなんかではないって。
I'm not
と
what?
思っていたのに。
Mm-mm.
それはもしかしたら
I'm
間違いだ
down.
ったのかな。
Maybe you should focus on the fact that, maybe you should study the sheet more or saying, oh, wait. I realized what had seemed odd about the paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's an extra circle on it. When had that gotten there and put it there? And who put it there? It was someone in final course, so it could be Kanomi. Maybe I can look it up at the school network. I'll try tomorrow. It was the final Saturday of summer and a sense of restlessness. Ugh. I need my tea. Of summer vacation, in a sense, were the dorms. They all been waiting for this day. And then night came. The bell rang to signal the start of the event, and I left my room. And okay. I hadn't seen the hallway so crowded in quite some time. The atmosphere was high with expectation. Blankets were spread out over the ground at regular intervals. The summer event were all handled by the association, so I had helped out earlier that evening. We've been unusually quiet as we worked. Maybe that had been intentional. I laid down on my own spot. It was more comfortable than I expected. The night sky was bright and beautiful, probably due to the lack of artificial lighting. You see a sky like this in the city. Talking together while looking up at the sky. That doesn't sound bad at all. And now we need to go to the next part.